Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to your Monday night. That's right, we are back, the Redneck and the Geek, with Avenger Pretender. This week, episode 3 of the series Echo. Do me a favor, grab your favorite adult beverage or whatever it is you want to drink, something to munch on. Pop back in your easy chair, kick back and relax, and enjoy the ride. Sully, it's all yours.
Oh, well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Avenger Pretenders. Like JT said, he's the Redneck and I am the Geek, and we are talking about Echo episode 3. So far, it's been a pretty wild ride with Echo. Some people will...
That's an understatement.
You know, some people will be on the other side of the fence. But that's when I say, listen, you have to look at it from an entertainment value. You do. You have to look at it from an entertainment side of things. Apparently, your cat will be joining us today, again, as always.
Yeah, the other one's actually passed out in the chair right over here next to me.
Oh, that's a good thing. How come that one always wakes up?
I don't know. She'll sit here, during the day and stuff, and she'll bother Kay. She'll be up rubbing on her hand on the mouse and all that kind of stuff. And I say, take that and multiply it by 10. That's what she does to me during our shows.
All the time, every day. Which is fine. Believe me, we don't mind. We don't mind. Lady Death says she watched episode 3 and 4, and she rewatched it for tonight. So that's a good thing. Glad you did. Hope you enjoyed them both, because we're going to get right down to the nitty gritty, and let's do it. Simple as that. This week's episode starts off where we visit another one of her ancestors, Tuklo. It's also the name of the episode. Tuklo is a daughter of the Choctaw. I really hope I'm not butchering that. Choctaw. That's what I thought it was. Choctaw.
Yes.
But not just any Choctaw this time. A daughter of a Choctaw light horseman.
What's a light horseman, Sully?
What's a light horseman, JT? Well,
What's a light horseman?
It just so happens that a Choctaw light horseman was actually a Native American lawman.
Cool.
Also known as the American Indian Police.
The Indian Fuzz, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The light horse was the name given by the 5 civilized tribes of the United States to their mounted police force. The light horse were generally organized into companies and assigned to different districts.
Just like they do now.
Yeah. The most famous was actually the Cherokee light horsemen, which had their origins in Georgia.
Nice.
So there's a little fun fact for you today. And although the mounted police were disbanded when the 5 civilized tribes lost their tribal lands in the late 19th century and their independence in 1906, some tribes still use the light horse name for elements of their police forces, which personally I think is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they should ever get away with something like that. But you had the Cherokee, the Chickasaw, the Choctaw, the Creek, and the Seminole. So those were the branches of the
civilized tribes.
Yeah, the 5 civilized tribes of the light horse, or the American Indian Police. So there you go. You learned something new today, folks.
Yep.
If you didn't put it together from, the episode,
Right.
But Tuklo, she
was a badass.
Yeah, badass daughter. But I liked what they did with this episode.
Okay.
I love that they started it off with that old school silent film feel to it.
Yep.
I really did. And it matched perfectly for the films that were made in the 1800s and the 1900s, before, before the talkies. It
Right.
fit
Well,
perfect for it.
yeah, and once again, I mean, it's just another example of these Marvel producers
Yes.
and everything just really paying attention to detail.
Yes.
You know, I mean, they took it from modern day 21st century graphics and, you know, the whole freaking 9 yards and took it back to black and freaking white
Yes. Absolutely.
with the flip up screens with what they said or the sound effect. My favorite one was the bang.
Surprise. Yes.
Like Nakai says, yeah, they turned it into an old timey movie, but it's neat that they're really paying attention to those details because if you think
Yes.
about it, they've done that at the beginning of all 3 episodes so far.
Yes, they've paid very close attention to historical values,
Mhm.
and the one thing about this one also is, if you think about it, the way they tied it together, not just for that old time feel, but it also could relate to Maya's disability with being deaf and an amputee. Mostly
Mhm.
for the deaf, because
Yep.
it, that's how they hear. They don't hear anything. So here you go. You know, you have that comparison or similarities, so to speak, with
Mhm.
between the two, and really we see that a lot of the, at least in these last 3 episodes, that the background of all 3 of these ancestors
Yeah.
are really not of the norm. They're really not.
No, true.
For
And
the Native
that's
Americans, it's out of the norm.
right. And it's neat because if you think back to episode 2 when Maya was in the shop
Yep.
and she saw the statue
Yes.
of oh, who was it? Choctaw, I think. One of the ancient mothers. Anyway. Um
Yeah, I don't remember the
and
name.
and he was, you know, he kind of like, you know, this is why you are what you are.
Yes.
This is why you do the things that you do, you know. These and if you don't know the history, go talk to grandma.
Yeah, go talk to grandma, because grandma can do it for you.
She can explain it all.
She can help you where you need it to be helped, and go from there.
But
Just go
again,
from
you know,
there.
it's they're really I like what they're doing with this because they're really sticking to the ancient warrior feel
Yes.
with
Yes.
as they're developing her character and showing and teaching her all the things that came before,
Yes.
you know. So I'm really enjoying that part of this.
Me too. Because this is where things kind of take a little bit of a turn, where uh, for Tuklo, she was trained very well by her father.
Trying to shoot bow and arrow,
Yep,
you know, to
trained
track the
to be a
whole 9 yards.
killer. Trained to be a killer if need be. Hint, hint. And we see her training and that she's an excellent shot, but there's also trouble brewing. Trouble brewing in the Old West, to
Mhm.
the point where she wants to help and her father says no. You are a woman, you have specific duties, you need to carry them out, and that's that. You're not becoming a light horseman, because back then I'm pretty sure it was unheard of.
What he said, because she says, you know, I am ready to become a light horseman.
Yes.
And he's like, no, women were born to bear.
Yes,
Men
and back
were
then, yes.
born and men were born to kill.
Yes.
So basically, women were made to bring life where men were made to take life. She wasn't very happy about that.
I mean, I can't really blame her.
No, no,
It's kind of like
no, and
they're labeling
you got to
me.
remember, you got to remember this was going on during the time of all the disputes between the white man and the Indian, and it's all in that time frame.
Yes.
There you go. Women are life givers, men are life takers. Thank you, Nikaya. So and believe it or not, even the Indians had a lot of I'll say customs that the young colonial Americans did, which was, these things are men's work, these things are women's work.
And I think
And
that
even
was
the
just
Indians had a lot of that too.
yeah, and I mean, if you
And in
think
that time
about
frame,
it,
it fit.
if you think about it, historically speaking, that's just the way it was.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
erase that.
And
Sorry,
Nikaya,
feminists.
right? Nikaya brought up her response to that.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Which was extremely prophetic.
Yes.
Because she says, "How can I protect life if I cannot also take life?"
I mean, she makes a very good point.
And it set the old man back on his butt.
It really did.
I mean, it didn't physically do that to him, but he's like, "Good point."
Yeah.
And then if I remember right, then she hopped on her horse and took off.
Yeah. So from there, trouble emerges out of nowhere. They're doing what they need to do as light horsemen, but because of that trouble, it gets to the point where it is so bad that Tuklo decides to take things into her own hands, braids her hair, and gets ready for battle. Now, the one thing that I noticed about this was the way that she braided her hair. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty decent with basic Native American history. And
Right.
only the men really braided their hair.
Yes.
For battle.
Yes. Well, women weren't expected to go into battle.
Right.
So they had no need to break.
And that was more to, keep it out of their face. They needed to do what they needed to do, but it was also to show that they were a warrior.
And if I remember right, and please, don't quote me on this. If you look it up and find out I'm wrong, then please let me know.
Yes.
But when it came to the braids, there were different kinds.
Yes.
Okay. The women, when they braided their hair, because they always had the long hair, it was always braided in the back.
Yes.
Whereas the men would have two braids on the sides.
Yep.
So,
which,
again, defining roles and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and Lady Death confirms that those braids are meant for male warriors, which makes perfect sense in this take.
Mm-hmm.
So now,
as she was braiding her hair, Nikaya is on this big time.
She really is.
As she was braiding her hair, it came up and it says, "I am going to make them see me as I am, not how they want to see me."
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
It's very damn the man, save the empire.
Well, it's one of those things, and they may not have intended it to be a wokish kind of thing, but in this day and age, it very well can be.
Oh yeah, hands down.
With gay people and trans and all that coming out of the woodwork and everything else.
Yep.
That's what this is. That's what a lot of this is.
Yeah.
In this day and age, but we don't want to go there.
But in this case, after she braids her hair and she goes out to help the Light Horseman, you can see her harnessing Chafa's powers, and she kills every last bad guy. And I'm not just talking, hey, I'm going to shoot. No. Headshot.
Powerful ass shotgun.
Yeah.
For one.
She takes care of them nicely as targets.
And who's screaming and hollering and cheering her on
The Light
as she
Horseman.
takes down the last three?
The Light Horseman.
Her dad.
Every single one of them.
But the biggest one they showed was her dad.
Yeah.
There on the last two, he's like, yeah.
Oh, you
He
did
looked up
it.
and realized who it was.
That's my baby girl right there. Yeah.
She's 5 for 5 on kill shots.
Making it work. Making it work.
Like the old saying goes, aim small, miss small.
Well, from there, obviously, we see the intro to the show. And this this episode is brutal. I would say brutal. Mostly because the things that are happening. Oh, Hidden Nature just popped in. Hello. Hello, darling. She said, I'm not going to be available tomorrow evening, so just popping in to say hi, give hugs, and send you guys awesome pic in Facebook Messenger. You can share if you want, Sully. I will share tomorrow. Since we have a theme today. We're not wearing Marvel shirts today. We're actually wearing Star Wars shirts, but, you know.
I've only got one.
Whatever.
I've only got one Marvel shirt, but I got to work on that.
But whatever. This was the one that I just picked today. So anyway, with this episode of Echo, she is now starting to see visions. She's seeing visions of her ancestors. She's seeing things from the past, and it's really Chafa's powers that are trying to manifest themselves in her because she is she's one of the family. She's part of a long lineage of women in this particular nation that has developed these powers. It's like she's the chosen one, you know? But while she's having those visions, she gets kidnapped.
Yeah, that was the crazy thing, because she's walking along the edge of a lake in the woods and everything, and she senses something. She spins around, there's nothing there. She senses it again, and she spins around, and there's Koita, or whatever this episode's name is.
Tuklo.
Yeah. And there she is.
And you see her, and she's doing just fine.
And then all you see is this little Oompa Loompa freaking person.
An Oompa Loompa person.
Grab one shoulder and put the freaking chloroform over her face.
Yeah.
They're so you can barely see their head above her shoulders.
Yes.
That's why I call them an Oompa Loompa.
But while that's also happening, her Uncle Henry gets captured. And they're all taken to the ice rink.
Ice rink?
Roller skating rink. Sorry, roller skating rink.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you for the correction, sir.
Of course.
I mean, you could technically double it as an ice rink if you wanted to. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, you warp that floor pretty bad, though.
Yeah, it would suck. But they're both being held captive now. And of them, you've got Vicky, who's, one of the ringleaders of the group, who's also an employee of Henry at the roller rink. So clearly, the Kingpin has people all over the place.
Well, and if you think back to episode 1,
yep,
what did he do when Maya came in?
Oh, he reported her right away.
He says, I might have something on that Maya chick. Is the award still available?
Also known as...
So I was just thinking, well, he may be connected, but he's not part of it.
Yeah, no.
But everybody knows about the reward.
He
So
So
I didn't know. You didn't know for sure, but we knew we would find out.
we had even said it that he was going to do something stupid, but
Right.
just like any mobster film or show that involves something pertaining to organized crime,
Right.
snitches get stitches. Just saying. Just
That's pretty much how it goes.
putting it out there. Well, even though that's all happening, Maya's cousin Bonnie arrives. And even though her uncle tries to send her away, she gets kidnapped too. Which clearly is a problem.
Bad timing.
Yeah. And it's
Well,
not
she'd have been fine if she just would have left after she couldn't get the front door open.
Yes, but instead she had
But
to go around the
no.
back and,
Yeah.
figure things out and all that good stuff.
Nosy ass people.
While that's happening, obviously the Bonnie and Maya are reunited. Not exactly the great way to be reunited. They fight, which I will say, I don't think I ever want to argue with anybody who is deaf. Whether I know sign language or not, I don't think I would ever want to do this, because obviously when it comes to signing, they use body language as well. So they really get into it. And it's not because it's something that they have to do. It's something that they just automatically do. They show facial expressions. They show how disappointed or upset or angry they are while they're signing. And when they're signing, they're going fast.
Right. And the other thing they do is, like, if they're calm, and they're just talking, and it's not big, but they start, I don't want to say grunting, but they actually kind of say the word.
Yes.
But it just comes out as sounds. It doesn't come out as the word. And it's more prevalent. Yeah, prevalent. It comes out when they're upset.
Want to try again?
or when it comes out more if they're the more animated they get, the more sounds they make.
Yes, absolutely.
Guttural. There you go. Thank you, Kaya.
Oh, there you go. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yep.
Well, obviously, Maya is now upset that Bonnie is kidnapped because she knows it's her fault that she got kidnapped. She knows it. They're off in another room, completely, tied up, doing whatever. And Henry is trying to warn Vicky, dude, what did you do? Do you really think you're going to get paid?
Yeah.
He warned him, you're never going to get the money. You're never going to get paid. You're going to be completely and utterly either A, humiliated, or B, dead.
And he was right.
That's just the way it is. You're going to be dead. Well, the rest of the crew arrive, and it turns out they are 100% from the Kingpin. And, well, lo and behold,
Mr. I got blown up.
Lo and behold, Vicky dies.
Trying to run away. What happened? Got shot in the back.
The
guy said it was epic.
It was epic. And listen, he got what he deserved. Like I said, snitches get stitches, especially in this case, because he's trying to control the situation. He's trying to be I'm the big man. No. I reported her. Please let me be in charge. No.
And he's like, he keeps trying to bring it back around to the reward money. let's take a look at that reward money, just make sure that's there. Blah, blah, blah. And he keeps going back and keeps going back. He would have pissed me off enough for me to shoot him, even if I
Yeah.
had planned to give him the reward money,
Yeah. Which,
because it just kept back around, back. I was like, dude, you're not going to get the money until we get the person
yeah. Lady that says, you're the shit on my shoe.
that I wiped off with ancient toilet paper.
Listen, you're not wrong.
No,
You're not
no.
wrong. You're not wrong. Well, because he kept trying to get the money first before he turned them over, obviously that's what got him killed. And he's like, all right, well, I'm going to threaten to kill him and her. So Henry and Bonnie at the same time. But Maya,
Hmm.
the genius that she is, and she's smart.
What did I say to you? What was my new name for her?
I don't remember.
Maya Guyver.
Maya Guyver. Yeah. Yeah, that works.
for MacGyver, because the weapon that she came up with was so intuitive
Oh, it was fantastic.
and so inventive that I was like, no way. But it was awesome.
She done good, that's for sure.
He done good.
And for those of you that don't remember what it was, it just involved roller skate. Involved the
Roller
wheels.
skate and a drill, and
Oh, yeah.
it fired nuts. Not
That
those kind of
was
nuts,
so
but
cool.
Nuts and screws.
It was great.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
I loved it. It was like bam. And she's really good shot.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only was she able to, obviously take a shot with it at somebody, but also bounce it off and hit people, which was
Right. Well, and
great.
she doesn't really have an aiming device, so to say, on it.
No, she.
So
does
she was completely eyeballing it, and her first shot, she was a little bit high, ricocheted off the frame and went flying back towards her. She's like, whoa.
not. Surprise!
Second one took out the light, which is what she wanted to do.
Surprise! It's gonna
Which
hit
caused-
you, no matter what.
Which caused little Miss Fatty to come walking into the room and get her ass kicked.
Yeah. So the beauty of this starts a huge fight where she's able to basically kick the shit out of everybody, and cue up the music for some kick-ass tunes while she's doing it.
Loud.
Very loud.
Very loud.
Doesn't phase her one bit. Disorients everybody else, especially in a room like that. It's going to echo. It's going to bounce off. It's going to shake the floors. It's going to do whatever it needs to do. Because let's face it, the acoustics in there, not the greatest. Not the
But
greatest.
they worked well for this purpose.
Yes, it did. While she's taking them out, and really she's all over the place, kicking them, throwing them, bashing their heads in, doing what she needs to do.
And she's doing the tactically smart thing.
Yes.
Instead of hitting them all in one big group, she leads them into the paintball area, and she's taking them out one by one.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, come on. Indian culture. Hello.
Sneak attack.
I mean, it's perfect.
Oh, hands down. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but as she was fighting them, weren't we getting like a glimpse of the past with Tuklo on this one?
Yep.
Like every
Couple
now
of
and then
times.
she would just pop up standing above the hill after she had taken them all out. You would see a cut scene from that as she was going along. So she takes everybody out.
And even her prior ancestors too.
Yes. Well, but that was much later though.
Mm-hmm.
That was later on. But with this particular scene, she takes them all out and even gets Henry involved because clearly they're going to take him out too. So now she's got Henry, her Uncle Henry, who is now more of an ally than anything, to help take down the Kingpin's empire. And then, of course, obviously we know he's still alive, because what's the rule in comic books? What's the rule? Come on, you know the rule.
Nobody is truly dead.
There it is.
Except for Uncle Ben.
That's correct. But of course, Maya thinks he's dead because she shot him. She shot him in the head. In the eye, to be exact.
It's funny to me, and I can understand why. But Henry's reaction to what just happened with the massacre, and that's one thing we didn't mention, because at the end of this big fight, right? Maya and Henry are side by side on their knees, and Mr. I got blown the hell up is holding a gun to Henry's head, and he's getting ready to take him out.
Yeah,
he's getting ready to kill both of them, and his phone rings.
Bring, bring.
And I love the look on his face when his phone started ringing. He's like, "Come on, really? I'm about to shoot somebody. I got a phone call." You know, but he answers the phone. Yes, sir. Okay. Understand. Click. Puts the phone back in his pocket. And he's just kind of standing there. He's like,
God damn it.
Son of a bitch.
I'm going to kick his grumble, grumble, grumble.
and then he goes, let's go.
Yep.
And walks out. And the look on Maya and Henry's and Bonnie's faces as all these people just turn and walk out.
Yes.
Is priceless. It is total shock.
Which
it is what the hell and holy crap, how am I still alive all at the same time?
Which that right there was the clue that obviously the Kingpin was still alive.
Yeah, it's, you know, somebody's made a statement similar to this before. There's only one person that could make this stop.
Well,
only one person that could stop him from pulling the trigger.
Sure. Absolutely.
And it's like,
because if you think about it, what's really happening here is the Kingpin is showing that he has full and total control over everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody involved in his organization.
Nobody wants to piss him off.
Right. He's the one. You don't want to mess with him. And that's what's really going to happen.
Right.
So from there, we see her grandmother is learning that, you know, Maya's back, not happy at all, pissed even, to the point where her ex-husband, I forget his name, funny guy though, doesn't really, you know, say, not for nothing, but since she's home, you really should, you know, put your pride aside and reach out. Yeah. While he was doing this, he was also flirting with her because obviously he still loves her. I don't think they were actually ever married.
There's a boom chicka wah wah going on there.
Yeah, I don't think they were actually ever married. I think they were just boyfriend girlfriend at the time.
Right.
And then they broke up. So, you know, obviously he still has some type of feelings for her, which is 100% perfectly fine. But it was just funny how he was going about it. He's like, yeah.
Got the music on.
Like, welcome to my sanctuary.
Remember some of the things we did back in the office?
Let's get it on.
We can go back again. That's what I was waiting for in the background. I was waiting to hear, let's get it on. or giggity giggity goo.
Yes. But at the same time, She does not want to reconnect with Maya, but she's also done. She does. She's very conflicted because she doesn't know whether to be angry with her for the stuff that she's done. Obviously, she's still angry about the death of her daughter, which was Maya's mother. You know, there's a lot going on right there. There's a lot of family squabbling / issues going on.
Well, and the one thing that she won't admit to is the fact that she forced him, and thus Maya, to leave.
Right.
After her daughter died, she wanted him out. Well, if he's going, what's he going to do? He's going to take his daughter with him. So, they moved to New York. They've been there for 20 years. And, obviously he raised her. So she's going to be part of what he's a part of.
Absolutely.
More than likely. That's how it usually goes anyway.
Absolutely, it does.
Everything. So, part of it is her fault. Part of it is Maya's fault.
Yes.
Yeah, I would kind of do a 50-50 on that as far as to who was responsible for the situation as is,
Yeah.
And she even promises Bonnie, I will get back in touch with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. See, I love that conversation that Bonnie and Maya had.
It had to happen.
Because
it had.
Well, not only did it have to happen, but she was also at the point where, Bonnie was not really upset with her that she had left and came back and didn't tell her. It was more the fact that Maya was upset that Bonnie accidentally got herself kidnapped because of her.
Right.
And
it's one of those. It's one of those typical movie things.
Yes.
Or even TV series things where somebody gets pulled into something that they had nothing to do with and no reason to be involved in it. But somehow or another, because of them, they got pulled in.
Yes.
We see it all the time. I would say 90% of the time, the person who gets pulled in usually ends up on a slab.
Oh, hands down.
Which I'm hoping in this case does not happen. With, as you have told me that she turns good. That Maya turns good, so that would tell me more than likely she doesn't, because I'm sorry, but if he kills one of her family, I can't see her going good. Make sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
Because that would push her to an even darker side than she was already at.
Okay. I can see that.
Maybe to a point of beyond redemption kind of thing.
I can see that. So
my thinking is nothing's going to happen to Bonnie.
Oh yeah, no, nothing's. Listen, Maya's around now, so with Maya being around, Bonnie is going to be safe. We know.
Well, and she even tells Bonnie when she's trying to get Bonnie to get in the truck and leave.
Yeah.
That she's not going to let anybody hurt her.
Right.
And when she said that, 2 words, my mind added 2 words to the end of that statement, and that was "except me." Because if you flash back about 5 minutes, she goes, Bonnie asks, "What are we going to do?" And Maya goes, "I'm going to punch you." Whack.
Yes, I'm going to punch you. Sorry.
Didn't give her a chance to think. Didn't give her a chance to react. Just told her and pop right in the face.
Yeah.
Laughed my ass off when she did that.
So here's the one thing that you have to remember about Maya. Maya, her first appearance was in Daredevil #9, which fits in with the Tracksuit Mafia and Daredevil and Kingpin and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so,
for beginning episode 1.
Yeah. And then fast forward, she was part of the new Avengers.
Okay.
So you have that. Comic book wise, she was also a part of the Daughters of Liberty, the regular Avengers, and the Hand, which is a criminal organization. She also goes by, aside from Echo, Ronin. She did become Ronin, and Phoenix. So there's a lot of different things.
A lot of history.
Yeah, a lot of history. So Maya's been around for quite some time. It's just now we're seeing her being brought up to the forefront. And that's the other thing that I and a lot of people kind of bash Marvel for doing this. I think it's great. You know, when you think of Marvel at the time, who is your A-lister? Who's your A-list superhero for Marvel? Spider-Man. Spider-Man's your number one. That's when you hear Marvel, Spider-Man, because Spider-Man was all over that. When they started making the cinematic universe, they didn't have the movie rights to Spider-Man, the Hulk, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Namor, the Submariner, the Blade. They didn't have the rights to do those. So they went with their B team. What's their B team? The Avengers. Captain America, Iron Man, Thor.
Yeah.
Daredevil. That's the start of your B team. They took the B team and went, screw you. Now we're the A team. So the good thing is they're bringing all these great original characters to the forefront. Maya's an original character. She's been around since 1999. And actually probably before that. Let me see here. Before that. So 1964.
Want to say hi to Will. Just joined us in the chat room and came in and says, no Batman.
No Batman. That's the
I'm
problem.
assuming that's no Batman. I'm assuming that's not no.
Yeah.
Batman.
But that's the problem with DC, but we'll get into that in a minute. Because here's what happens at the end of this episode. Maya goes back to the house. She goes back to the grandmother's house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
No,
bad guys are defeated. You think, hey, listen, I'm out of hot water. This is great. No. Because the Kingpin reveals himself to be alive and well. And even says, hello, Maya. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, it surprised me. Now, I will say this. I knew we were going to see him in episode 4 because in the thumbnail, you can see him. You see him from the back. You see this big white coat. So I knew we were going to see him in episode 4. And I figured, that was probably how they were going to start episode 4, was with the reveal to her that, yes, as Henry told her, he is still alive.
Yes.
So it kind of surprised me when they did it at the end of episode 3. My thinking was that it was going to be some kind of a thing where she gets back to the house, a couple of Kingpin's men are there, guns drawn, no chance for her to do anything. Cuff her, tie her up, blah, 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 throw her in the back of a car.
Sure.
And take her back to New York.
Yeah.
I did not expect, this truly blew my mind. I did not expect Kingpin to come to her.
Yeah, no.
I thought for sure. I mean, I'm sorry. If I'm the boss man and you put a bullet in my freaking head, I'm not coming to you. Your ass is coming to me. And you're going to be tied to a spigot like Chris was in the Star Wars episode of Family Guy.
With the deuce.
Okay. So it truly shocked me to see Kingpin out in a rural environment.
Yeah.
Out in BF backwoods country, Arizona
Yep.
or Alabama. Sorry.
Like lady that says, nope, he was coming to her. It is all on his terms when he wants to do it. Yeah, you're not wrong.
And it could still, but it could still be that with her bringing him, or with him bringing her to him.
Sure, absolutely.
Instead of him, but my mind went one way, and of course, Marvel went the other.
Yes. Now,
nothing new there.
Now, obviously,
Nakai also says that they got the perfect actor for Kingpin too.
Oh well, yeah. So I'm glad she mentioned that. So Vincent D'Onofrio is absolutely amazing as the Kingpin. He really is. If you think he's good now,
just wait.
No. It's not even a just wait. I highly recommend you watch Daredevil from the Netflix series, which is now officially MCU canon. So yeah, that's happened. If you really want to see Vincent D'Onofrio shine as the Kingpin, watch all 3 seasons of Daredevil. Just watch them, because you will be floored. If you think he is good now, wait until you see how ruthless he is in that series.
I think we're about to find out how ruthless he is anyway.
Are you, though?
Well,
are you?
It's a good possibility.
It is a good possibility. So, for me,
mm-hmm.
Before we get into the Will says, great reason. It's true. It's a great reason. Watch Daredevil, because you will, craziness, absolute craziness. So for me, this episode, the action was amazing. Cinematography was fantastic. The way they show Maya, her emotional stance when she's upset or she's mad or she's like, whoa, is so realistic that you can't even argue with it. I am giving this week's episode, Lady Death beat me, a 4.75. I'm giving it a 4.5. The reason I'm giving it a 4.5, here's the reason. I wanted to see more of the back and forth between Bonnie and Maya. I wanted to see just a little bit more.
I think that'll come, though. I really do.
Yes.
They haven't had a moment yet.
Right. That was a partial moment.
Right. They haven't had a moment between Maya and Bonnie.
Right.
And they haven't had a moment between Maya and Grandma.
Well, yeah, because she hasn't even seen her.
And she doesn't want to see her.
Nope.
As far as that goes, from the conversation that we got between her and the old man.
Yes.
In the shop. So I think it'll happen. It may be at the end of 5 that it happens. But I think it'll happen.
Yeah. Lady Death says the ending is what pushed it to 4.75 for her. Otherwise, it would have been a 4.5. Will is saying a 4.6. Nice. We're in the general vicinity. So, therefore, since it is episode 3, I leave it to you, sir. What is your rating of this episode?
I'm giving it a 1. It's the worst episode I've ever seen in my life.
Bullshit. I can tell.
No, excellent episode. You had to immediately throw the bullshit flag on that one.
Oh yeah, throwing the flag on the plate. Flag on the plate.
And Nakai just called me an asshole.
And there it is.
Great episode. It was, to be honest with you, up until the fight scene, it was sitting at about a 3.5.
Oh, okay.
About a 3.5. It was a good episode. I enjoyed it. The pacing was nice. It had, it had a nice little pickup and then a little drop back, and you kept going, and so I didn't have any pacing issues. I love the storyline. Like we talked about, I loved the background stuff at the very beginning of the episode, the prelude to the actual episode itself. And then we had the fight scene. That fight scene wasn't epic, but it was damn close. Wasn't epic, but it was damn close. Great fight scene. I loved how the tactics that she used during the fight scene were classic Indian style fighting
with a modern take to it.
Yes. And I loved that.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
It was really, really cool. I also love the fact that they destroyed a crane machine. They tore the hell out of a pinball Machine. Maya rode a guy through the wall. Fully clothed, folks. Fully clothed.
I mean, it was worth
it. It was a great show, great episode. To be totally honest with you, Kingpin showing up here at the end of this episode actually kind of took away from the episode for me a little bit.
Why?
Because it took away, to me, it kind of took away from the things that Maya accomplished in this whole episode.
Okay.
I understand why they did it. I don't agree with why they did it. But it is what it is. Because of that, I'm at a 4.25. 4.25.
Okay. Still not bad.
Great episode, though. Great episode.
Still not bad.
And, you put the 3 episodes together, and, we're sitting at a 4.9 at this point.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Nikaya, she used the skeet balls. A perfect example of when you're in a fight for your life, you find anything and everything you can to use as a weapon.
Okay.
And a skeet ball to the face.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
That's gonna put a man down.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
No, great episode. This is a really interesting series. I was worried that this was going to be another, I can never think of what it's called. The White Knight thing, the Halloween thing, that it was a one-time series of shows. I was worried it was going to be another one of those, to be honest with you, because it was only 5 episodes long. Right. Somebody I've never heard of before, although I had, just didn't know it. But it has gone the total opposite direction for me. So I am really, really enjoying this, and I'm loving the way that they're developing Maya as a character.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Yeah. So.
And I'm loving the stuff from the past, like all her ancestors,
flashbacks and all that. Yeah.
Because to me, it's basically like the powers that they have are just getting passed down from generation to generation.
Yeah, and her history is an integral part of what she is and the powers that she has. The background information, just like I love the learning about a song, and why it was written and that kind of thing. Yeah, I love learning the background of a character.
Yeah,
and this is the deepest dive I've seen him do on just about anybody.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Other than Mando, or maybe Obi-Wan or Luke, but that's Star Wars. That's not Marvel.
That's true.
So it's the deepest dive I think I've seen into one character's background. And I mean, even with Iron Man, they went into his background a lot, but not nearly as much as they've done with her.
Yeah. But it's working. It's working.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing episode 4.
Me too. Because there's only 2 more
already-
episodes left. They
You've
only
already
did
watched.
5 for this little mini series, which I thought was short, but
Yeah.
it's working. It's working.
Mhm.
So, that, my friends, is this week's edition of Avenger Pretenders. Next week,
Yay.
at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Accidental Punch TV, we'll be talking about episode 4 of Echo. Also, once we're done with Echo, 2 Ewoks in the Park will be back. That's right. 2 Ewoks in the Park will be back as we discuss The Bad Batch, Season 3. I have a feeling we're going to do like a little recap of seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, I got to sit down and watch those.
You can watch them anytime you want on Disney Plus. Disney Plus does not sponsor this show, but it'd be pretty cool if they did.
Hell yeah, it would.
Just saying. Just saying.
We'd still be two Ewoks in the park when we were doing Marvel.
Exactly. Exactly. So, aside from that, tomorrow the Sully Show will be live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So tell your friends. Twitch.tv/Accidental Punch. That's where we will be live, as well as on YouTube, Kick, D Live, Facebook, you name it. We'll be live all over, just like we are every single week. So tell your friends. Put the link in your wonderful status on all your social media pages. And if we can get one person from you or more, that's cool too. We can double, maybe even triple what we had last week, which would be phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Mhm.
For the Redneck, I'm Sully, the Geek. That's JT. See, there he is. We wish you good night, and we will see you tomorrow for the Sully Show, and next week for our next edition of Avenger Pretenders. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.